It is our 5th webinar in the webinar series started last July. And today's webinar on international grants from German and Swiss foundations seems to generate quite a lot of interest in the UK, as I can see, which makes me very happy, because the UK foundation market is also an interesting market. So it's good to have to see what the rest of Europe can do for you, for your organization, and you're based in the UK. My name is Lisa Ringhofer, and I'm the co-founder of Triple Minds. You might have heard of us. I'm from Spain. Hello, Jute, you just joined us from Spain. So I see we're 30 now. Francesca from Italy, hello. Claudia is just joining us. So we're slowly getting there. Triple Minds. Triple Minds is a consultancy network for development and humanitarian aid. And we are based in the beautiful city of Vienna. And we mainly provide services in the area of fundraising, project development, proposal writing, and evaluation, like midterm evaluations, reviews, and also impact assessments. And we also give a lot of trainings on burning development issues, like proposal development, project planning, theory of change, log frame, and so on and so forth. And we've also created an online platform, Triple Funds, and those, I mean, I'm sure that all of you have had the opportunity so far to use our database. We have a grant database and a donor database, and you've had a chance to see how many potentially good fits in terms of foundations or other grant-making entities are there for you. Well, my name is Lisa. I just said it before. I have been working in development for about 17 years now, I guess. I have never worked anywhere else, so that's what I can do. I have worked in different countries. I started my development career, if you can see that, in Latin America, in Guatemala, Nicaragua. Then I moved down to Bolivia and Colombia. It was a very nice experience. That was back in 1998, 99. And I started to work with grassroots organizations and then with bigger NGOs and capital cities. So I did get quite a good overview of what is out there in the development world. And on the one hand, I was in charge of developing projects and managing these, but I was also mostly in charge of finding funds for these endeavors, because mostly grassroots NGOs, as you know, we don't have a lot of money to set up your own administrative unit or fundraising unit, so you have to do it all by yourself. One woman or one man shows, so to say. So I've done quite a bit of fundraising from institutional and private donors, and I've had some successes and obviously also some failures. And I'm really looking forward to sharing some of this experience from the last 15, 16, 17 years with you today. So I guess it'll be very exciting to share this. And since we have a lot to go through, I would say let's go ahead and start the webinar. Good morning from Tanzania, Alexander, hello. Anke has joined us. Good morning from Germany. Very great. Bushra is from the UK, Lebanon. Wow, so we have a good mix of people. Very much looking forward to sharing my experience on German and Swiss Foundation fundraising with you. Before we start, just an admin issue concerning the webinar. Please make sure you can hear me, but I can see now nobody has come back to me and said that you can't hear me, so that's a good sign. If not, you can please adjust your audio settings. The presentation will be available for download in the Triple Funds membership area. All of you who have paid for the webinar have access to it. You can see the menu bars, resource and webinars. You find a link there and you can listen to the recording whenever you want at your convenience. Following the webinar, we will also send you an email, a copy of the presentation and the link to the audio recording. And you're most welcome to post any questions after the webinar to my email address. Please feel free to do so. Can also be at the weekend, but I will only be able to answer on Monday. And the duration of the presentation is around 80 to 90 minutes. Let's see how it goes. and then it will be followed by a Q&A session at the end. We are now having 36 participants. I will delete the participant list now, so you don't have so many boxes on your screen. Let's give me a moment. This one. I will leave the chat box open, just in case you have any burning issues you would like to pose. As I said, we do have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and I will also try to make some time after every section for you to have the chance to pose questions. Right, so let's go ahead. Today's agenda is split into 4 parts. The first part. Oh, hello. Hello from Weidhofen. I've just seen Barbara joining us. Hello, Barbara. So you're not so far away from Vienna. And somebody else from Italy and from Graz, Thailand. So I can see we're very international here. Right, today's agenda, the first section will be about the German and Swiss Foundation landscape. I would love to take you for a walk through this beautiful and dynamic landscape. I'm sure there's a lot of information I can provide. And then we move on to foundation research. I will give you some specific websites you can look at by yourself in order to find the good or the best fits for you for your project to be funded. And then we will proceed to engage in outreach, to the networking part. That's very key. If you work in foundation fundraising, you really have to go out there, engage with others, outreach and network. And the final section will be some tips and tricks on funding applications, because they are quite different from what you might be used to from institutional donors. Keep them short, professional and emotional, but one after the other. So let's start with number 1, the German and Swiss foundation landscape. Now, this slide is taken from a previous webinar on successful fundraising from European foundations. I have left this here because it should give you a brief overview of the European foundation landscape. Those of you who are very familiar with the US foundation market, they won't be very happy when they start fundraising in Europe, because the European foundation market, as compared to the US counterparts, is very heterogeneous. There is no legal framework or common definition on the European level. Legislation is very country specific. Even the